This is a picture of a typical office environment here in the Philippines, and this is a picture of a business setting in the US. Both of them are very common and can be found not only in the Philippines or the US, but also all over the world. The same situation is also present in Japan, the United Kingdom, Argentina, and Egypt. Of all the pictures, we can see that the number of men and women are quite balanced. However, there are some professions where the gender distribution is not so proportionate. Instead, it is extremely skewed towards a particular gender. For example, this is a picture of nurses working in a hospital in the Philippines, and this is in the US. Notice that majority of the nurses are women. The same can be said in Japan, the United Kingdom, Argentina, and Egypt. Moreover, this is a picture of workers working in construction sites in the Philippines, and this is in the US. And simultaneously, this is in Japan, the United Kingdom, Argentina, and Egypt. Conversely, notice that in this industry, most of the workers are men. As a society, everyone has noticed this weird phenomenon at least once in their life, but no one has really given an explanation as to why this is happening. In addition, the gender disparity is not only present in only these two specific professions, but of countless more. A survey in the UK by Working Futures listed the occupations that have the most disparity between men and women. The imbalance of the gender distribution of these occupations are shockingly massive. Take, for example, vehicle technicians, mechanics, and electricians, which is the first on the list, have a staggering 99.19% of its total workforce composed of men. In fact, the top 10 jobs in the survey have men composing at least 96% of the workers. For women, the first on the list were nursery nurses and assistants, where 97.78% of its workers were women. Surprisingly, the top 10 jobs on the list have at least 89% of the total workforce composed of women. The survey didn't explain why this was the case, but I think we all can agree that the result of this survey is somehow a reflection of what we can see and experience in society. From the survey, we can notice a common trend in each list. For women, the occupations such as nurses, assistants, secretaries, childminders or babysitters, and teachers, they don't really fall under one industry, but somehow, in some ways, they have something in common, which is they are all related to humans. It could be nurturing, caring, assisting, or entertaining humans. For men, on the other hand, the similarity between these jobs is more obvious, in which they can be generalized as a part of the construction industry. And if you further break it down, all of these jobs are tremendously laborious, and they all include and in fact require the use of tools and equipment. So in summary, women are more interested in humans, and men are more interested in things. Psychologists like Dr. Jordan Peterson explains that the reason for this disparity is somewhat biological and ingrained in our DNA. And there is some truth to this, but how it was ingrained in our DNA is still a mystery that baffles experts. And the answer to this intriguing problem can be found in the most unpredictable of sources, the Bible. In the book of Genesis, it talks about how God created the world and what happened in the early days of the world. But we will focus on the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and how they betrayed God. When Adam and Eve committed the original sin, God punished them accordingly. However, God gave different punishments for each of them. God's punishment for Eve can be found in Genesis chapter 3, verse 14.
Then God said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth. And you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you.
As for Adam, God's punishment for him can be found in Genesis chapter 3, verses 17 and 19.
And to the man God said, Since you listened to your wife and ate from the tree, whose fruit I commanded you not to eat, the ground is cursed because of you. All your life you will struggle to scratch a living from it. By the sweat of your brow will you have food to eat, until you return to the ground from which you were made. For you were made from dust, and to dust you will return.
These punishments are very distinct from each other and could possibly explain the different interests between men and women in terms of career paths. Let us narrow down each punishment and focus only on the most vital parts. For women, God made the pain of pregnancy and childbirth more severe, and for men, God punished us by making us struggle and sweat in order to make a living in this world. For women, the reason why their interests are so inclined to anything related to the nurture and care of humans is because of the pain that they have to go through during pregnancy and childbirth. Because of the severe pain that they experience, they value human life more than men. They understand what it takes to produce a healthy human, so that's why they give the utmost importance towards the nurturing and raising of human life. Hence, occupations like nurses, teachers, and assistants being predominantly female make a lot of sense. As for men, the pain that we experience is completely different as we cannot become pregnant. Instead, our pain comes from the struggle of earning a living in this world. Men have to work and sweat to provide for himself and his family. So difficult, laborious jobs being predominantly male is completely understandable, given our punishment is literally to labor in order to live. Moreover, because of the everyday struggle of working, men had developed an interest towards tools that can alleviate the pain of labor. So the fascination for tools, machines, and systems became essential for men, because it not only reduced the effort needed for physical labor, but also multiplied the overall productivity of the job. This gives an explanation as to why men are extremely interested in things more than women. In conclusion, God punished humans by introducing pain in our lives, and the pain that men and women experience are different from each other, and these differences are the deciding factors between the polarity of the chosen career paths for both genders. So, when psychologists said that the reason between the disparity between career paths for men and women are rooted in our biology, it is vital to emphasize that the one who planted it in our DNA is none other than the one Almighty God. It is in fact the will of God manifesting itself in our world. It is an undeniable proof that the teachings in the Bible are irrefutably true. So, when you see a group of women nurses working in a hospital, or a bunch of men constructing a building, I hope it will remind you of God's everlasting presence in this world. Hello guys, if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching, God bless, and have a nice day.